sports or action setting because all these animals can move freely, but it looks like we have the all clear. So is everyone ready to go on a safari? Alright, well let's head on in. Airborne Wardens, this is Simba 1. Over.
Simba 1, this is Warden Wilson Mutua. Over.
Well, Jumbo Wilson, we are now entering the reserve close to the Aturi Forest. Over.
Hamjambo, Simba 1. Keep your eyes open and drive carefully. You should see lots of animals.
Well, everyone, you heard him. We should see lots of animals, so we're just going to stay on the lookout at all times. Now, don't forget about that game spotting guide. Now, if you look over to your right along the red clay wall, you will see the yellow-backed duiker. Now, the yellow-backed duiker gets its name, duiker, because it dives into bushes to avoid being seen by the other animals. Now, as we turn this corner behind that tree, we will see the okapi. The okapi looks like it's related to the zebra because of all the stripes down its legs. But really, the okapi is the only known relative of the giraffe family. Now, they are very shy and reclusive, so shy that they weren't discovered until about 1901. This watering hole over to your left will attract some of the more rare species, such as the black rhino. Now, the black rhinos like to hide on all these rocks, and they blend in very well, so we're going to have to look very closely to find them. We'll head on up to the top of the hill and hopefully find him somewhere. But to the right, that's the saddle-billed stork, the largest stork in Africa. So they can stand up to about 5 feet tall. And they have a wingspan of 8 to 9 feet. Now, the black rhinos can charge up to 35 miles per hour. But unfortunately, there are less than 4,200 left out there in the wild because poachers have been hunting them for their horns. Now, I don't see any black rhinos up there, but we're going to come around this corner, and to our left, we will see the greater kudu. This is the second largest species of antelopes, and you can see the greater kudu right there to your left. And there's about 2 or 3 of them up there in all of those trees, and there's one right down here by the bush. Now we're about to exit the Aturi Forest, and I'm going to drive us right to the Sulphey River. Now down here in the Sulphey River, the animals will be a little bit easier to spot, but we're going to have to look very closely to find these hippos in the Sulphey River because they can stay submerged for 5 to 8 minutes without coming up for breath. Now we're about to approach the Sulphey River, and it's coming up to your right. Now I don't see any hippos to the right, so we're going to drive right on down the middle of the river. We're going to come up to the other side, and hopefully we'll see some hippos right there. So right now we're in the middle of the river. To your left, just behind this island, you can see one of the hippos. Hippos are born at only 85 pounds. And I say only because they grow to weigh up to 5,000 pounds each. The blackbirds in that nest are the white-breasted cormorants. They like the oils in their feathers, so they always look wet. So if you ever see them with their wings spread open, it's because they are trying to dry themselves off. And those gray birds are the pink-backed pelicans. They gather in large groups close to the shallow edges of water, and they eat fish together. They have a great view of the hippo right there to your left. And once again, they emerge for 5 to 8 minutes without coming up for breath. To 150 pounds of vegetation every single day. And there's a hippo out of the water over to your left. You can see how big they really are. And you can see those little tusks they have to their mouth. Now we're about to have to cross the bridge up ahead, so please stay seated and hang on tight. We're going to go over this bridge pole, and that means slowly, slowly, because this bridge doesn't look very sturdy to me. Oh, and it looks like we're crossing over some Nile crocodiles. Now that makes me just a little bit nervous because the Nile crocodiles can get to 20 feet long, and they can snap their jaws at 200 pounds per square inch. Now those Nile crocodiles look just a little bit hungry to me, so we're gonna get on out of here now very quickly.
Simba 1, come in.
Yes, this is Simba 1. Over.
Just wanted to let you know that my ground patrol has seen a lot of elephant activity near the red clay pits. You definitely want to check out that area.
Alright, well then we will definitely go check out that area, but first we're going to head on into a new environment with many different species. Now, speaking of different, over to your right you will see the baobab tree. Now, this is a very unique tree, and it is known as the upside down tree, because it looks like its roots are growing from the top of the tree, rather than from the bottom. Now, this is my favorite view on the whole reserve, and it's the Serengeti grasslands, which stretch for hundreds of miles across East Africa. And it is the superhighway for millions of migrating animals, but it's also home to some of the more famous species, such as the elephants and the giraffes. Now, this is all part of the wild Africa, and we are all trying so very hard to protect. Now, the animals are a lot easier to find on this part of the reserve because it's more open, roam more freely, and we can still find them everywhere. And coming up to the right, those little guys are the Thompson's gazelles. Out here on the reserve, we like to call them Tommies. Well, to you they might look like little babies, but really they are fully grown, and they weigh about 60 pounds each. The Tommies can run up to 55 miles per hour, and they can jump 6 feet high straight in the air. And also the darker animals coming up to our right and left are the white-bearded wildebeest. They are part of one of the largest migrations on Earth, and they migrate in packs of up to 1.5 million. Now you have a great close view of the white-bearded wildebeest. As we go through here, you might notice these large mounds of earth over to your right and left. Well, these are the and they become hard as concrete, and elephants like to use them as scratching posts. But after the elephants wear them down, other small animals like to use them as lookout mounts, searching for their prey. You're going to see these large termite mounts all out here on the reserve. Also coming up to the right, the animal out here by himself is the water bug. The water bug releases an oily secretion from his hairs, which makes him waterproof. So whenever he is in the water, it's easy for him to escape. Now there are lots of animals to still see out here on our safari, so we're just going to start heading right on up this way, and it looks like we're going to see the Ankole cattle up ahead. Now they're going to be high on top of the hill along with the Patterson's eland. The tan animal was the Patterson's eland, which is the largest species of antelopes. Now a fully grown male weighs about 2,000 pounds. The animals with those large horns are the Ankole cattle. Their horns grow 5 to 6 feet long, and they act as radiators, releasing heat because the blood flows to the top, cools off, and then comes back down. It looks like up ahead we're going to see some giraffes. Now let's go around here and we'll try to get a better view of the giraffes. Now those horns on the Ankole cattle might look very heavy to you, but really they are just like a honeycomb inside, because the only thing in there are tiny blood vessels, which are allowing the blood to flow up and down. Now coming up to our left, we're going to see the reticulated giraffe. Now you're going to see two of them up there. And we'll stop right here because that's a really good view of the reticulated giraffe. It gets its name from the Latin word reticulato, which means net, because they're net-like pattern. They can grow 18 to 20 feet tall, and baby giraffes are born at 6 feet tall. Their net-like pattern is sort of like the human's fingerprint, because no net-like pattern is the same. Now the two giraffes closer to the bottom of the hill, not on top of the hill, but on the ground, are the Maasai giraffes. Now they have a maple leaf-like pattern on their body, and they can grow 14 to 19 feet tall. The Maasai giraffes only spend about 30 minutes each day sleeping.
Zimmerman, this is Wilson. What is your location? Over.
We are heading into elephant country. Over.
Keep your eyes open for me. We picked up a baby elephant that was wandering off on its own. We can't find the mother. I'm afraid poachers may be in the reserve.
Oh no, poachers in the reserve? Alright, we're gonna keep our eyes up for you, but let's focus our attention to the elephant over there to our right. Now we know that's a male because he's by himself, and females tend to stay together in a herd. So this should mean that somewhere up ahead we'll see a herd of elephants. Now over to your left, walking along the side right there, is the mandrills. They're the largest species of monkeys, and a fully grown male weighs about 100 pounds. They have a bright shade of red and blue on their noses. Now let's go look for that herd of elephants. Now don't forget we have to keep our eyes out for poachers. As we're doing now, I'm going to try to tune in this really great radio station. Alright, now this is one of my favorite songs, and I hope all of you enjoy it as well.